it's Vanessa from Games and Me. I am here to ask this week's community question of the week and answer your questions from last week. First, I wanted to say we just added Jumble Junkie as a member to Games and Me, so welcome to the family. Aww. Anyway, check out the podcast with him. They're pretty good. They're pretty funny. Kept me laughing a lot. And also, we've been coming out with episodes of the Pixel and Polygon Protection Group, or TPPPPPG, and hope you're watching those. Also, Ask Games and Me is coming up, so we are going to be answering your burning questions about our deepest, darkest secrets. Well, maybe not, but anyway. Last week's question was, what are your top 3 genres and some examples of some games from those genres? And we got so many answers. Oh my gosh, I picked what I could. There were some video responses, so thanks for those, you guys. And some of the responses are from Triforce 2008. We've got RPG, like Final Fantasy VII, Atelier Iris 2, I think that's how you say that word, Chrono Trigger or Chrono Cross, and Parasite Eve 1 and 2. Also, Adventure, the Crash series, Donkey Kong series, Mario and Mega Man, and Shooting co-op only, he wants to point out. So, Gears of War 1 and 2, Halo, Army of 2, and Resistance. We've also got X-Psykid X. He likes massive multiplayer online RPGs like RuneScape, FPS like Halo and Combat Arms, and RPG like Hack, Pokemon, and a lot of others. Also, Red South City says platformers, Banjo-Kazooie series, and Mario. Also, head-to-head fighters like Bloody Roar, adventure like Castlevania, and puzzle platformers like A Boy and His Blob and Dokomodake DS. That's 4 genres, but okay, I'll take it, because he has good examples. Gamerboy2778 says RPGs like Kingdom Hearts 2, Final Fantasy VII, and Final Fantasy X. Platformers like Sonic, Super Mario Bros., and Crash Bandicoot. Wow, those are really classic. Action-adventure like Zelda, GTA, and Fallout 3. LOL haha dead. XX. Actually, I want to say LOL, haha, dead. JRPGs, Persona, Final Fantasy, The World Ends With You, Paper Mario, Fighting, Street Fighter, and Super Smash Bros., Adventure, Ace Attorney, and Hotel Dusk. Velocity 11, JRPG. Wow, has almost every single person said RPG? Almost all. Anyway, he likes Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Disgaea, Shin Megami Tensei, also platformers like Crash, Spyro, Sonic, Rayman, and Jak and Daxter, action and puzzle adventures like Tomb Raider and Zelda. Jumble Junkie. Wow, he did not say RPG. Way to be different. Anyway, he says, fighters. Virtua Fighter is my favorite ever. I'm so hardcore into fighters that I bought a Soul Calibur 2 arcade machine. Also, FPS, between the original Quake and Half-Life, I have way too many hours in those games. And action-adventure games like Prince of Persia and Zelda. Snail V2 says FPS, Call of Duty 4. RPG, Fable 1 and 2. Action-adventure, Grand Theft Auto 3. Nice, to the point. And the last answer I picked was Nick31189X says JRPGs, Final Fantasy VIII, Earthbound, and Chrono Trigger. Survival horror like Resident Evil series, Silent Hill series, and Alone in the Dark. And action, Legend of Zelda, Metal Gear Solid, Metroid, God of War, and Ninja Gaiden. I would say definitely the majority of people said RPGs, and a lot of people said JRPGs in particular, so I'd say those are really popular. So this week's question, this is the one you're going to be answering right now, which is, what is the worst game you've ever played? Now for me, I don't tend to play bad games. I only have so many hours in a day, and I'd rather spend that time playing good games. So I haven't played any bad games in quite a while, but there was this one game that I played. I'm going to prerequisite this by saying I played it years and years after it came out. So I was looking back on an old game. So I'm kind of cheating here, but this is such a good opportunity for me to tell you guys this funny story. It's Betrayal at Krondor, which is the first game which came before one of my favorite games, Betrayal in Antara. But Betrayal at Krondor came out quite a bit beforehand, and Betrayal in Antara already had sucky graphics. And Betrayal at Krondor had, like, oh my gosh, the worst graphics ever. It was 3D, but they were all, like, simple polygons and no shading. It was just, like, flat green for the ground and flat blue for the sky. And you're walking around in 3D space, and I was just walking, and I looked at my map, and I was pretty far away from the city, so I kept walking, and it started to become nighttime, and I looked at my map, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm still far away from the city. How big is this game? And I kept walking. Finally, it was nighttime. I looked at my map. I hadn't moved at all, and I was like, what the heck happened? And my whole screen was filled with green, so I thought I was just walking forward, because you can't really tell. There's no shading, there's no grass, there's no indication that you're moving forward. You have to check your map. And then I started walking away, or what I thought was away, and I turned around in a circle and realized I had been walking into a mountain for 24 hours in the game, but I couldn't tell because there's no shading and it's just a pyramid shape. So yeah, basically my characters starved to death and were so tired that they all passed out, and then they ate poison food and died. And yeah, that was pretty sucky. And I finally got to the end of the level, and then it was so ridiculously hard because I couldn't buy any food, I didn't have any money, and then there were thieves everywhere fighting me, so I couldn't buy any equipment or anything to heal me, so I just died. And then I said, forget that, I'll go play Betrayal in Antara. So anyway, that's probably what comes off the top of my head. So let me know what your worst games are, and tell me why, because like I said, I don't play too many really bad games, so I'd like to know why. And that's this week's community question of the week, and I hope to hear from you soon. See ya!